a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Religion in Senegal. Religion and beliefs occupy an important place in the daily life of the nation of Senegal. A large majority of the Senegalese population is Muslim, mainly Sunni of Maliki school of jurisprudence with Sufi influences. Christians represent 4%. Traditional beliefs are officially practiced by 1% of the population, but members of other religions also often partake in traditional practices. Religious freedom is protected in Senegal by law. Senegalese culture, in general, is religiously tolerant. Islam. About 92% of the Senegalese population is Muslim, and this population practices Sunni Islam based on the Asharite theology. The Malikite jurisprudence. Approximately 1% of the Muslim population practices Ahmadiyya Islam. Sufism is represented in Senegal by the following brotherhoods: Tijanism, Muridism, Qadiriya, and Layanism. More recently, the Nabi movement has emerged and constructed the Mosque of the Divinity in Wakam. The Layens are a Muslim brotherhood based in Mahdism. This group originated in Yoff, a Lebu village that has become a commune d'arrondissement of Dakar. The founder is Seydina Limamou Laye. He began his predication May 24, 1883. At the age of 40, presenting himself as the Imam of Bian Guides or Imam al-Mahdi. He taught and preached religious law and worship clean and sincere, removed from the traditions that he judged were not conforming to Islam. Tijanism is the most important Sufi brotherhood in Senegal. In Senegal, the principal holy city of Tijanism is Tivaouane, the home of Marabout Malik Sy. Sy left a legacy of pacifist teachings. Il wa aussi se con avec El Hadji Amadou Deme. Kaolack is another important city for being the seat of Marabout Baye Niasse, who also taught a pacifist message. The first propagators were Ramatul, who tried to lead a holy war against the French, and Muhammad Ulhamet Ba. After the 2002 general census of the Senegalese population, the followers of Tijanism constitute around 60% of all Senegalese, making it the most represented brotherhood in the country. The Mouride constitute one of the most important brotherhoods in Senegal, and the most important Sufi brotherhood in sub-Saharan Africa. The religious center of Mourides is the city of Touba, which houses one of the largest mosques in Africa. The founder of the Mouride Brotherhood is Marabout Amadou Bamba. Each year, the Mourides commemorate the exile of Bamba during Magal, celebrated in the holy city of Touba. Each year, not less than 2 million people make this pilgrimage. Mourides constitute around 28% of the Senegalese population. The Qadiriya Brotherhood is the oldest in Senegal, founded by the Sufi mystic Abd al-Qadir al-Jilani in the 12th century. Qadiriya constitute around 6% of the Senegalese population. Christianity. Primarily found in the south of Senegal, in the Casamance region, Christians are largely of Serra heritage. They are also found in the large cities of Senegal, such as Dakar and St. Louis. Senegalese Christians have a site of pilgrimage at Pot Penguin. The Cathedral of Dakar was constructed at the beginning of the 20th century by Father Daniel Brottier, founder of the Orphelins Apprentis d'Étoile. Protestantism is equally represented, among others, by the Protestant Church of Senegal. Other beliefs. Traditional African religions like the Serra religion are adhered to by devout worshippers of Robe, the supreme deity in Serra religion. The Serra ethnic group who adhere to the tenets of Serra religion honor the Serra Pangul and have ancient rituals and festivals devoted to them. The religious affairs of Serra religion devotees are usually headed by the Saltique, which in ancient times was the preoccupation of the Serra Lamanic class. Some of these religious festivals or ceremonies include the Ndat and the Ran festival. Senegalese hold several ancient beliefs, such as small efforts of thanks, or demands, such as protection from water. They also place great importance on the baobab tree, which is known as the House of the Spirits. The baobab tree, along with other sacred trees, figure prominently in the Serra creation narrative. Among the Jola people, some religious festivals include the Samai, Campo and the Niasse. Youth religiosity in Senegal. Religion is an integral part of daily life in Senegal, and this occurs very differently for adults and youths. Though many standard practices such as the celebration of large Senegalese religious holidays like Tabaski maintain importance for Senegalese people of all generations, other practices such as daily prayer and abstinence from drinking and drugs take on different roles for Senegalese youth and for their parents. But along with youths who have liberalized their understanding of religion, there are many Senegalese youth who have made changes of a more fundamentalist nature. Many Senegalese youth are reinstating earlier understandings of Islam, in many instances incorporating religion into their lives to a greater extent than that of their parents. Changes in religiosity. A notable sign of changing generational levels of religiosity is how youth have changed their interactions with the national political system. On one hand, an increase in religiosity of Senegalese youth has caused them to promote an increased level of religious involvement in political decision-making. Conversely, many youth-led political movements are associated with groups of young people who tend to deviate from the religious expectations of their parents, partaking in alcohol consumption as well as elements of hip-hop culture. For example, the UNMRE movement that developed in January 2011 in response to the government inefficiency and youth uninvolvement in Senegal was almost entirely youth-driven. On the other hand, many Senegalese youth movements have centered on increasing the role of religion in political systems, particularly at the university level. Many student organizations have been created to attempt to promote these traditional values to Senegalese public life and politics. These groups include the Hizb ut-Tarqiyyah and the Association Musulmane des Étudiants d'Afrique Noire. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, this upturn in religiosity was seen through the building of new mosques and an increase in attention on Islamic organizations and news publications. These movements have many sources of inspiration, some local and some international. Scholars have claimed that it is sometimes a lack of access to resources that drive youth to use religion as a source of empowerment, as well as a justification for violence in certain instances. However, in Senegal in the 1990s, Islamic revivalism originated largely from educated youths who had attended secular French schools. The existing literature about youth religiosity and politics in West Africa focuses on males, since they tend to dominate roles of religious authority in Muslim structures. This bias makes it even more difficult to make any generalizations about youth religiosity, since it would frequently be disregarding the sentiments of a large portion of the population. But it is apparent that religion serves a very different function for youth of this generation than it did for the previous one, in a pattern that was certainly passed down from the one before. Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like to know more?